I hate Nashi.
I spent the light 10. I got the pipe in. Gon' spin a block, no type in. I just want the face like we Skype in. Can't cut no hoe, they be trifling.
Big Savage in the building. The grind don't stop unless it kill me. Y'all already know. Today, I'm reacting to the Tactical Brett. He done already posted the new Warzone CALDERA. What the fuck you call it? CALDERA, whatever it's called. He done already explored it and posted most of the map. We gonna go and react to it, see how it's looking. This gonna be my very first look at it. So y'all already know. Let's get it in. Right to it.
Invited me to check out their brand new CALDERA map before it releases to the general public. Now, many of you guys know that I've been a vocal critic of Warzone of late, and I was really excited to see what had changed and been refreshed in the new CALDERA map.
Facts.
And I theorized in early
It looks so
videos
smooth.
that this map was going to solve a lot of the problems that Verdansk has, and I was right. CALDERA is a fantastic map.
That's what I want to hear.
I'm going to give you guys a full breakdown of all of the points of interest that you can drop into. I went to every single point of interest in the pre-game lobby, had a wander around, and I was really impressed with what I found. The new Warzone Pacific map...
Bro, that pistol was slapping. That Magnum too?
Points of interest that are full of color, full of fantastic design that's going to make gunfights super engaging, and finally breaks down the barrier to camping by offering multiple access points to the majority of buildings in the map. Now I've got more...
They got the double barrel on the ground, boy. That ground loot looking vicious already.
On screen. But to give you a quick rundown, CALDERA does a fantastic job of offering lots of layers of cover, having good lighting that avoids dark spaces, which was a main concern for many people, and having good visibility. It's a very vibrant place with lots.
That good visibility and good lighting is going to be very important. That's going to change the game because y'all already know how Verdansk went. Soon as the bitches unlock that rose scan, that's all we seen until the end of it. We still seeing it now. So hopefully we don't got none of that bullshit with niggas hiding in shadows and all that. We can just keep it straight, keep it fair on everybody end. Whether you got this operator or that operator, you'll still be able to compete.
Lots of details, and I think it's something that ticks a lot of boxes. Now the first area we're looking
that
at...
That AS-44 got hella recoil. Yeah, I was saying it.
Downtown, and this is one of the most dense areas in the map, featuring multiple buildings. You'll note very early on that none of these buildings are massive high-rises, and this is a deliberate design decision to make
no more birds
readable, and also make sure that camping positions cannot be continually maintained. Somebody can get flanked from rooftop to rooftop, or somebody can parachute down into locations, or utilize the numerous numbers of staircases, ladders, and zip lines to maneuver around the capital area. It's a very vibrant and very detailed place with lots of detailed interiors that will lead to some really interesting gunfights.
Oh, I like that building right there.
Area, but it doesn't allow for camping, and it's really interesting and one of my favorite places on the map. It also makes...
Look at all them corners on the stairwells. They not dark.
...of the map as well. You can expect very dense urban fighting to come from this area immediately as one of the major hot drops of the map, including a high loot density as well.
Yeah, it look dope. Dope as hell. This is what Warzone been needing. Call of Duty might be fucking saved. Cause multiplayer sure ain't getting the attention they need. Damn. Look how beautiful. It's probably gonna be the a good area entrance, like he was saying. Look like this the most city area that it's gonna be. But we'll see, it might be a few more. But this like a big ass city right here. I wish he would bring the map back up so I can see if this like towards the middle of the map or not. Like as he running type shit. Just to get the direction going. But we'll be able to do all that on our own real soon. Real soon.
Moving on to Resort, which is a centralized large...
Okay, Capital is about it. Damn, it's damn near about the bottom of the map. Y'all saying that?
Beach as well. This
yeah, Resort right next to it.
Capital and is an area of interest that is quite large in terms of the main structure itself. So if a zone ends here, it's more likely or not whoever gets into that building and holds it down will be the winner.
Okay. So that building gonna be important. Especially if that circle going now. Surprisingly, it doesn't look like World War II. Like, I expected it to look more World War II vibes, more old school. There's like, it got that little skin to it, but you can barely tell the difference. It kind of look like modern day to me. I mean, besides from the guns that they're using, that's gonna be the only dead giveaway we got. But then again, in the other game mode, we're gonna be able to use all the guns.
Connecting to the resort is the Subpen, and the Subpen is a large main central block structure which features multiple submarine docking pens, which is really interesting, well detailed, and will have a good CQB environment within the main structure. To the exterior of the area, you'll notice that there are different levels of houses and different areas that you can go into, like barracks, and this creates a very multi-leveled environment where whether you're inside the main subpen or outside the main subpen, there's a good degree of cover and combat space available here.
Okay. Subpens. So I'm guessing they like built around the multiplayer map probably, so that you might see some of that in here, and then probably just some expansion of that. And they gave us like the whole station probably. Okay, that kind of building right there remind me of that. It was already a building in Verdansk. I can't remember the name of where it's at. Y'all know what I'm saying though. Even the upstairs, it almost looked the same. We didn't seen the inside of that building layout before. Somebody in the comments, let me know what part of the map on Verdansk that's at. Ooh, jump in that water. They said we can stand in water a damn near halfway swim. I want to see what they talking about.
North of the Subpen is the beachhead, and the beachhead is
okay. We at the beachhead now.
World War II style invasion that is very reminiscent of something like Omaha Beach on D-Day. The idea here is effectively that there are multiple trench lines, gun positions, and bunkers for you to utilize to engage in a more traditional World War II style combat on the CALDERA map. Just try not to get any of the vehicles stuck in the trenches. North of that is the runway, which is a very open environment with a hangar and
yeah, you get one of them vehicles stuck, you might be over with. Especially when there's action going on.
Moving on to the runway, we move into the docks, and this is a very, very intense area because although it's a small section of the map from the top-down view, it's incredibly dense, almost as dense as the area of Capital, featuring multiple shipyards and
yeah, that looked like a good area right there.
Completed ships available
a good area
sector. It's very vertical as well. Some of the cranes in utilization can be moved on up onto, and some of the larger hangars and buildings are some that you can drop onto as well and utilize different ladders and zip lines to get towards. This is a super varied level of different heights and combat situations.
That's like at the top of the map too, the docks.
Locations on CALDERA.
So if the circle start ending up there,
the dockland is a very familiar situation.
At least they ain't gonna be hiding. You know it's gonna be action.
Dense area that happens to have multiple layers of verticality, including the same cranes that you saw in the dockland. This is a very, very intense area as well that's going to lead to lots of multifaceted combat situations. Whether you're somebody who sits back in the main structures and barracks buildings, or somebody who pushes in closer towards the water, you're going to notice this place has a lot of verticality, and it's going to be very challenging to master.
Drop in the water, bruh. I'm about to say, you got to be able to if that core was right there. That water right there, that must be the water that you can get in. Maybe you can't get in all of the water though on the map. I can't see no deep sea divers and shit like on Blackout. Nah, I don't think it's that.
moving slightly more inland, we have the mines, which is a little bit reminiscent of the quarry from Verdansk, but a little bit more methodical and a little bit more thought out. There are a lot more buildings here, again, lots of degrees of verticality, and this is an area that will remind you very much of the quarry area, and has very similar styles of engagements that you'll notice take place there.
Look pretty good. I never really liked quarry on Verdansk, so I don't know if I'd be heavy over here. But you know, you might need to come through every now and then. But yeah, this part, it looked real similar. I can see that.
Now, I know lots of people want to talk about the peak, and that is exactly what the peak is. The highest point on the map, which can be used to parachute into multiple areas across the entire Caldera map. Now, interestingly, the peak actually features a subterranean level, which is actually super intricate, very detailed, and very eerie in some places as well. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Star Wars. Getting up to the peak is a difficult part, because although there are rocks for covers, you can be very exposed when moving up to this section, but the benefit is that you can move quickly across vast stretches of the map by parachuting off of it.
You can parachute anywhere, huh? That sounds kind of interesting. That might be a good spot to go and then relocate once you see the circle changing. Got a little bunker to it too. A little escape route. I like that. You got a lot of different pathways to get to some of these places. It's gonna be an interesting map to learn. Gonna be a lot of opportunity for you to turn on people, whether they're trying to camp or not.
To the immediate south of the peak is an agricultural area called the Fields, and I really like this. It's a mixture of lots of small structures interwoven with different agricultural land that has not a lot of verticality and is primarily flat, but is nicely detailed, and I think it will allow for slightly more spread out combat situations to take place. And although you won't have a lot of cover to move around in, it's a nice departure from some of the more slightly built up, denser areas within Caldera. Next to the fields we have the airfield, and this is the equivalent of, I guess, the airport.
Airport, yep.
And it's far more built up. There are
Sniper tower.
And the airstrip itself is actually a tiny little bit more open, and you can actually take off multiple aircraft.
Oh shit!
Multiple accessible buildings.
That's the fighter jet right there. He damn. I can't wait to see how getting in them gonna be. Can you shoot missiles? Can you shoot bullets? How is the action?
Airfield itself, and there are lots of
like come pull up
buildings such as the actual air tower.
Them gonna be way better than attack choppers that we had in the past.
It won't just be a camping spot. Moving just south of the airfield, you have the power plant, and this is kind of similar to Factory in Verdansk, although the actual central buildings themselves are a little bit more built up and can allow for multiple squads to move around the area a little bit more freely, as opposed to the factory area where things can get a little claustrophobic quite quickly. I like this area. It's nothing entirely special on Caldera compared to some of the other sectors, but it offers a really good transitional route between the airfield and the central capital area, which is almost as though the airport in Verdansk and downtown were stitched together, and I think that makes for a really good moving environment. Moving on to the lagoon, and this is actually to the west of the airstrip. And this is a really different area.
That looks interesting.
It's open and a bit more environmental, and has focuses on the actual lagoons themselves with rocky formations used as cover. And to the very edge of the lagoon, you'll notice a few areas of verticality, including a bridge and a much bigger spire as well that can be utilized to overlook the area.
They got a little high ground over there. I think I've seen enough so far. I'm ready to get at it. It's looking pretty lit out here. I can't wait to play. Y'all already know I'm gonna be on that early access soon as it drops. So if you haven't, hit that like button, subscribe right now. Make sure you come on over and join the Savage Nation. We gonna be out there getting it in. We go hard every single day. I just had to bring this to y'all, get y'all pumped up, because y'all already know I'm pumped up. Original video gonna be down in the comments, so if you want to go watch the whole thing again, go ahead. But I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
I hate Nashi.
I spent the like 10, yeah. I got the pipe in, gon' spin a block, no type in. I just want the face like we Skype in. Can't cut no hoe, they be trifling.